Hi everyone, welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host Annábla. Welcome to episode 16. I hope y'all have had an amazing week. I've had a pretty chill week. I mean, other than like my questionable foot injury, but it's been great other than that. As you all know, if you've listened to previous episodes, if you haven't listened to previous episodes, I did a 10K September 8th. With my friend Brianna, and it was a lot because it was during the heat wave. And since then, since I last recorded, my left foot has been kind of bothering me. There were a few different things that I Googled. I know you shouldn't do that, but there were a few different things that I Googled that it possibly could be. Hopefully it's not a fracture or anything like that. I mean, the pain has started to subside a little bit, but yeah, my left foot is jacked, dude. When I step on it, it hurts, but when I rest it, there's no pain. And if I'm on my tippy toes, it doesn't hurt. It's the weirdest thing ever. So I don't know, hopefully it just goes away on its own and I don't have to go to the doctor and deal with that. But yeah, I'm sad because I can't run. It also hurts when I run. I can't run or really walk even even at work. Walking just in my work is painful. Walking just around my house. So pray for me that it heals on its own and then it goes away so I don't have to be in pain anymore. But yeah, it's been weird. The race was Sunday. I let myself rest on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I went for a bike ride. And then Thursday, I went on a long walk. And during the bike ride, it didn't bother me. It bothered me a little bit that day. But then when I took an hour-long walk on Thursday, it didn't bother me at all on the actual walk. But then the rest of the day, it did. So I think I just kind of irritated it. I don't know. I took ibuprofen and it helped a little bit. So clearly there's inflammation, but it is what it is. I just can't wait until it goes away so I can go more walks. I've been taking more walks and going on more bike rides recently since it hasn't been as hot. It's cooled down a little bit. Thank God. The weather has been perfect. This is what we pay the expensive rent for. Because the weather recently has been literally heaven. So I'm just waiting for this to go away so I can get out more before it starts rain and be cold. I mean, I'll still be out. I'll still walk and go out and even ride my bike when it's rainy and cold, but I still want to be able to soak up the sun in the morning. You feel me? I have a fun episode for y'all today. My thirst this week is basically I've started watching Game of Thrones. I know I've already told you guys that, but I am going to go into some little details. I finished season 1 literally last night. So there's a lot to talk about. There will be spoilers, 100%. I'm going to go into a lot of details. So if you've not watched Game of Thrones and you don't want to hear any spoilers, I will put the timestamp for the next chapter of things, my next segment, so that you don't have to sit through some spoilers. Okay, so I'm just gonna dive right in. Season 1, I have some major takeaways. I wanted to talk about the most satisfying scene, the least satisfying scene, and then my favorite characters and my least favorite characters, and kind of list my reasons why. And yeah, let's just dive right in. So to start off strong, the most satisfying scene in all of season 1, in my opinion, was when Khal Drogo killed Viserys. I think I'm saying his name, Viserys Targaryen. That scene was it was the most satisfying watch. Yeah, I have no other words. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just crazy. It was the most satisfying, and the dialogue was very satisfying too. The crown for a king. That was crazy. So anyway, least satisfying scene in my opinion, there are two that I think are tied for me. When Daenerys Targaryen smothered Khal Drogo, that shit pissed me off. I was like, girl, okay, but also let's be so real. to me, when they first showed him, like after the like healer had been with him, I was like, this dude is dead. Does he not look dead? Like he looked so like white as a ghost, you know, he looked pale, he looked cold, like visibly he looked cold. And his eyes were just like, and I was like catatonic, but I was like, to me he just looks dead. So I was like super confused because I was like, are they like pretending he's not dead? Like he seems dead. Is he dead and she just like is hoping that he's not? And the healer like couldn't do anything about it, or like is he actually still alive and just like catatonic and like hopefully we'll come out of it. So for like that whole half of the episode or quarter of the episode, when he looked like that, I was like fully convinced that he's dead. I was like, dude, he's like already dead. Like she's tripping, she's just like in denial, you know. But then she was like talking to him and I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna like wake up now, you know, or whatever. Maybe she's just accepting that he's dead. And then she grabbed the pillow and I was like, wait, what? You're joking. You're literally joking. Yeah, that was so messed up. That like irked me so much that she did that. And then he started shaking and I was like, oh my God, so he was alive and you just killed him? Like, what are you doing? Why? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But like, dude, that was some fuck shit. Anyway, my other least my other choice for least satisfying scene probably has to be when Joffrey Baratheon had Eddard Stark beheaded. That was just so dark and so infuriating, and that scene just like pissed me off. Like it just irritated me. I have nothing more to say about it. My favorite characters, it's kind of hard to choose. I really like Daenerys Targaryen. I just love her. I'm so excited to see like where she goes. I'm so excited to see how her character evolves and like how she comes to power. And like the end of season 1, that scene when she's like rising out of the ashes with the dragons, I was like, shut up, yes, shut up, shut up, shut up. Like that's so freaking cool. Yeah, that just gave me so much life. I was like, let's go, baby. So now I'm so excited to start season 2. But yeah, I think I really like her, and I also love Arya Stark. When they first showed in episodes her like training, like in sword fighting, I was like, this girl, I can already see it now. She's gonna kill someone. She gonna kill someone one day. One of these episodes, she is going to kill someone. She's gonna slay, and I already see it coming. I mean, obviously, duh. But I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so satisfying. I kind of want her to kill Joffrey, but I also want Sansa to do it. So like, but I don't know. Either way, I'm so excited to see her like grow, and just become a badass. And like become like a warrior. I can't wait for that. My least favorite characters aside from Joffrey Baratheon, I obviously like Viserys was like super unlikable. Like couldn't stand him. Like from the second that they introduced him into the show, it was like that dude better die. And he did in a very satisfying way, thankfully. So that made me happy. But yeah, Sansa like kinds of pisses me off. Like Sansa Stark's character is like, oh, it just makes me so sad. So my girl, like you don't have to feed into the patriarchy. I mean, she like kind of does. Like I get it's like a survival thing. It's like if you can like go with someone wealthy and like, but it's like, girl, you don't have to go with the king. There are other wealthy people you can choose. You don't have to go with this evil little shit. Like Joffrey is like the devil. Like he's evil. He's like a little piece of shit already. So I'm like, girl, like. And when he made her like look at her father's head, I was like, that is evil. That is like, that is not of this world. Like that is horrible. Yeah, that whole scene was like very infuriating. I was like, ugh, like, and she was gonna push him, dude. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. She was thinking about it. And then that fucking guard stopped her, and I was like, that would have been so satisfying. But like, they can't give that to us yet. I get it. There can only be so many satisfying murders in one season. They have to like save the horrible people for later, you know? But anyway, yeah, so Sansa kind of pisses me off because I think now at this point she fully understands what she's getting into, after that scene specifically, and then after literally him like killing her father, she fully like knows what she's getting into and is like still choosing to stay. Not that I think that she would really have much of a choice in leaving. I feel like that would be really bad. But I just hope that in season 2 that they can rescue her, and her sister. I hope that that can be successful and that they're fine. But yeah, anyway, season 1 was crazy. Also, like, so far in season 1, I feel like Jon Snow is very mid. I just remember when I was young and this show was on, everyone thirsting over him. And I feel like he's mid. Maybe I'm like speaking too soon because I've only seen one season, but I'm like, he's fine. Like Robert Stark is like where it's at for sure. But yeah, anyway, that's like a handful of just little like takeaways that I have from season 1. I'm so excited. 7 more seasons, and then I have to watch House of Dragon. So this is gonna be like a long, a long dragged out like little segment here. Some of y'all should watch it with me if you haven't like watched Game of Thrones. Like watch all of season 1, and then like we can talk about it. I can have friends to talk about it with. Anyway, okay, next segment. I have some miscellaneous things to share. Friday night, I had a girls' karaoke night with Rocky and Brian was there, and we had like the most fun ever. And it's just like there's nothing better than like having a few drinks and singing musical theater. A musical theater and like Yeba and like Layla Hathaway. Like there's literally nothing better than just having a few drinks, eating some good food, and just vibing and singing, dude. I want to like host like karaoke nights. I don't know, like I have to think that through, figure that out. But I think it'd be so fun. I just love karaoke so much. I love singing. I love gathering and singing. I have so many talented friends, and I'm like, I just want to hear you sing all the time. I just want to like listen to you and watch you, and just bask in your talent. So that was super, super fun. It was like the greatest night ever. And then I went to see Green Day, and no one told me Smashing Pumpkins was gonna be like that. Like that was insane. I'd seen Green Day before. They're good, obviously, like duh. Super talented. They're just like on for like an hour and a half, and you're like, how do you do that? But Smashing Pumpkins was insane. Like they were so good live, and the guitar player was like so badass. She had the coolest fit too. If I can find little like snippets, I'll post them. But that shit was insane. I would like 10 out of 10 go see them again. And I like also didn't realize how many of their songs I like actually know. So yeah, that was crazy. And it was at SoFi Stadium, and that place is huge. Like, to preface this, I went to an arts high school, so I've never even been to like a high school football game, let alone like an NFL game or even a college game. Have not been to a football game ever in my life. So like being at SoFi Stadium, I was like, oh, this is like humongous. But it was really cool. It's really nice. Y'all have not been to a show there or a game there, I highly recommend. It was really, really sick. What else? Oh my gosh, when I went on my walk, this is like a tangent from my like topic about walks, but when I went on my walk the other day, there was like this insane bush. I'm also going to post a picture of that. There was this insane like tree bush thing that like when you see it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It is like the one tree that like attracts spiders. So like year round, it looks like it's Halloween because it's like covered in like patches of cobwebs. And there are a lot of those trees like in this vicinity, like in my neighborhood, and they're terrifying, dude. Some of them I like had no choice but to like walk by, because I'd be like walking and there would be like a car blocking something, so I like couldn't avoid it. Oh my god. But these trees are like my least favorite trees. Like they're like I have beef with them because they always like have a ton of spiders, and I'm like, straight up, anywhere that I live, like my actual, house, like can't have any of those near it, like on the property. That's like a big fat no. That's like one massive deal breaker for me. red flag if it has it. And another like deal breaker, well, not really deal breaker, but like another requirement I have, that like one day when I have a home, whether it's like a condo, apartment, whatever, house would be the goal, but like we live in California, y'all, let's be real. It's like my dream to have a eucalyptus on my property, and there are actually a few homes in my neighborhood that have it, and I always walk by them because I'm just like imagine living somewhere and just having eucalyptus like in your front yard or backyard. Like that is just like the best thing ever to me. That's like a total dream. I don't think I could live anywhere where like eucalyptus couldn't survive, because that's like a dream of mine for sure. Anyway, enough of that tangent. So my hot toddy take of the week is a very controversial one. Y'all already know that I'm a cat person, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I think that cats are better pets than dogs, for like so many reasons. One, they're just like more low maintenance when it comes to like feeding, defecating, like all that kind of stuff. Grooming, they groom themselves. I mean, you have to like trim their nails every once in a while, but like, I don't know if this is like weird to admit, but like I've had cats literally my entire life, and like only time we ever like bathed them was like when they had like fleas or something. Other than that, like we like don't bathe them. Like they're cats, that's, they do that themselves. So yeah, there's that. We just like clean our house frequently. So like if they're on surfaces, we just wipe the surfaces and sanitize the surfaces. Like that's like it. It's pretty much it. And we've been lucky that most of our cats, hi baby, speaking of, most of our cats, come here. Come here. Hi. Come on up. Come on up. Come here. Hi, baby. She came to say hi. Do you know I'm talking about you? But most of our cats have been like very well behaved. So like we've had no issues with them really jumping on kitchen counters or anything. Hi, baby. Do you want to say hi? She said hi. Come here, you can lay on me while I record. Come on. But we've had really good luck with our cats that they like aren't crazy and they don't like break things. So like I will be so honest. I don't know how to comment on like that aspect of having cats, because I've always had really good luck. One other point I had, was that they're very communicative. I mean, obviously, as you can tell, Miss Chelsea Belsey, she is so talkative. Like we always have little conversations, and we always like talk to each other, and she's like the little tuna love of my life. I love her so much. The third reason I had was that like cats, literally there are like statistics that show that cats' purrs can be healing. Like the vibration of their purrs can like heal you or like make you feel better. And I know that dogs have been known to like cuddle you when you're sick and stuff too, but like they don't purr. That's like a whole other level. Like when I have cramps, or if I'm ever sick, or if I feel sad, she literally like gravitates to me. Like she comes right to me, and she comforts me, and she's just like my little healer. She's so amazing. Another like reason that's like probably really the most controversial of them all is that I feel like it's like you can tell the type of person by like whether they're a cat or a dog person, in the sense that like I feel like with dogs you have to be like very aggressive in their training. You truly are like heavily like controlling another living thing like to your convenience, and sometimes in like a weird way. Now, I'm not saying that to say that like if you have a dog, like you shouldn't train them, because like I feel like that's irresponsible. If you're gonna like have a domesticated dog, you need to train them. But I feel like there are just some instances of not like training, but just like the way that people treat their dogs that I feel like is kind of like inhumane. And I'm like, if you're not gonna like have if you're gonna have responsibility over an animal's life, and you're gonna treat them with disrespect, or like, I don't know, like cross boundaries, and like you can just tell, dude, when people like do weird shit with their animals, and it's like, dude, what? Like that's a living being. Like you can't treat it like that. You can't. speak to it like that, XYZ, like you have to remember that they're like alive and they're conscious like you are. And I don't, it's very rare that like cat people are like disrespecting that, because like cats are so independent. They do their own thing. Like you're going to ask them to do something and like they don't listen to you, you know? They do whatever they want because they're like individuals and they're independent. And you know, like in order to be like a good cat owner, you have to like respect that, and you have to like respect their boundaries, and you know, only pet them where they like to be pet, you know, and understand their fears. Like Chelsea is so afraid of like plastic, the sound of like a plastic bag, anything plastic she hates. So if I'm ever handling or dealing plastic near her, like I will go in another room to deal with it. Like I will try my best. Even Velcro, when I open up my laptop case, like she gets freaked out by it. Her little ears are sensitive, so like I just have to be very mindful of those things. And it's just like out of respect for her, because I love her and I don't want her to be afraid. I want her to be comfortable and happy, and she's the bravest little girl ever. But I feel like I don't know how to like say this in like the right way, but I feel like sometimes, oh, she's just gonna hang out right here. That's fine. I just feel like sometimes like dog owners, like they don't offer that same level of like respect or I don't know. I maybe in the long run, maybe this is more a commentary not on dog owners, but just like on the idea of owning a dog, because it is way more of a responsibility. It's like a lot of dogs can be dangerous if they're not like properly trained. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's just like, why even like have a dog? Like, I don't know, like it can't be free. It can't like do what it wants. It has to like listen to your every command, and like I don't know, that's like kind of cringe to me. Small dogs, I feel like it's a little bit different, but I also know so many people that like their small dogs just like walk all over them. Like they do whatever they want, because some dogs just like can't be trained to an extent without like force and like violence, and that's like, dude, that's cringe. It's like a living being. You don't want to do that. So I don't know, maybe this is more a commentary on like, I feel like domesticated cats are like fair to have as pets because they're safer indoors than they logistically would be outdoors. Although you probably could argue that like, oh, it's unethical to like never let them outside, da da da. But they live longer, they live healthier lives, and they're safer when they are, oh, you gonna plop? When they're indoors. At least when they're small, domesticated little tunas like Chelsea Belsey. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's something that maybe I need to chat with a dog on. I need to have someone that's like a dog person on and chat with them about it and their opinion, and like see how they vibe with like this topic, because I don't know. I feel like there's just some level of like boundary that like humans are willing to cross in order to like domesticate dogs and live with dogs, whereas like with cats, like you don't really have to cross that boundary. Like you can just like let them be for the most part, as long as you create like a safe, comfortable environment for them. I feel like it's different when they have been exposed to trauma in the past and like they have stuff that they have to work through. But if you adopt a kitten and you create like a loving, safe environment for them, and you maintain that and you honor that for them, and like, you know, you're a good cat mommy or daddy, then like I just feel like they're better pets. I don't know how else to say it. I feel like I should maybe I'll chat more with Cammie next week, y'all. I'm having Cammie on next week. I was so excited. She's gonna be my guest, but I should chat with her because she's had dogs her whole life, and maybe she can attest for this more. Although I don't think she's ever had big dogs. I think she's had beagles and like small dogs. So I think that's different. Like I view them as more like cats. although the responsibility is still very different, like the levels of responsibility. But yeah, like maybe I'll chat with her about it next week and like we can follow up on this topic. So that's like kind of my hot toddy take of the week. Maybe it'll be like a part 2 next time. Okay, and then I have one out of pocket student quote from this week. It's not even really that out of pocket. I just thought it was funny. One of my students, she's like 10 or 11 now. And she's all over the place. Sometimes she's like really friendly with me and well behaved, and other times she's like kind of a monster. But this week I was like trying to explain something to her musically, and she like interrupted me in the middle of me speaking, and she was like, Miss Caitlin, you remind me a lot of my older sister. She's like a lot. And I was like, oh, a lot? What do you mean? What do you mean by a lot? She's like, I don't know. She's just a lot. And she like made that face. I was like, oh, so am I a lot? And she was like, I don't know, sometimes. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Sorry, I'm too much for you. Sorry, Miss Caitlin is too much for you. You know, I was like, damn, dude. That's a crazy thing to say to someone. You're a lot. She's just like a lot. Dude. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm about to run out of time on this. I think Chelsea Belsey wants some attention. So I'm going to give her some love and then go maybe watch some more Game of Thrones. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a wonderful week, an amazing weekend, and stay safe. And I will see you next week. Bye.
Say bye, Chelsea Belsey. Say bye.
Bye, y'all.